I need to learn how to do lives in black and white on YouTube. When you take your little thumbnail, come out in black and white. I kind of like the way it looks better than in color. But trying to, I guess, get back into getting a little bit of visibility since TikTok banned me, Facebook has me under visibility bans, and Instagram is basically non-existent. So, not really familiar with all these other websites people talk about. I did have a Zoom before. Um, can't think of the name of the other ones that I think people are saying they're going to. I'll look into them sooner or later, but right now, there you go. And I thought about messaging you because I just responded to your Gigi. I just responded to your comment from earlier, and I said I wonder if she's gonna catch it. So I'm trying to get back into at least trying to do my card of the day the night before. Plus, like things like last night, whenever there's full moons or new moons or equinoxes, solstice, eclipses, things like that, major events, major turns of the wheel, trying to come on and at least get a little bit of visibility. I know it's not going to go far, but nothing beats a failure but a try. So in the evening, I normally do a write-up, which I put on Facebook and Instagram, normally titled Heals Numerology. Heals Numerology. Should not going in be so much fun. Yes, should not going in be. Man, that hashtag, I'm too busy being motherfucking delicious. I think I developed that in either 2019 or 2020. It was when, say like in 2018 when I started, hey, you gotta let all this shit go, stop all this manipulation shit. And I start realizing you don't have to keep moving. You gotta see why you moving. And as I got rid of my quirks in that thought process, shit started getting easier. And it can be dangerously too fun. And that's when I tell you to watch out. When it becomes so fun because you're so used to giving away so much energy and now you're seeing how shit flow different, it can become a low-key addiction. And I say watch out because next year is going to be all about addictions. When you get so good at having a cutoff button, it's almost like on some levels, we're grown. So on some levels, yeah, people crashing out. On some levels, it's like where you will see where there's the opportunity for you to cut some shit free, and you'll make a point of doing it. So just be mindful of that. Not going in really is exactly what it says. It's not my circus, not my monkeys. I don't even need to give my energy to it. What I saw a lot of people do when they start trying to pick up ideology similar to my own is they were making a point to tell other people that you can't have my energy. You understand? That's like taunting. You telling somebody I'm beyond what you got for me. If you're beyond what somebody has for you, stay the fuck out the way. You subbed. Okay. That's a loaded statement. Be careful with subbing. Especially if you got a Dom. You gotta be careful subbing. So again, like I was saying, I'm gonna try and do my card of the day the night before. It's gonna get real crazy next year. Next year is gonna be about people empathy. You're gonna hear people again. As a vibrationalist, I watch the way energy goes, and it's been showing me the same shit for decades. Only I got better at it by sitting down and exactly like I'm saying, watching it. You can see where it's going because people don't want to invest in doing anything different. So unless people make a drastic change as a collective, next year you're going to see people falling apart because their ideologies of empathy, religious fanaticism, spirituality, atheism, whatever kind of ism they're holding on to, it ain't going to show them. It's going to start getting to a point where it's not showing them the definition they're seeking because they're trying to find definition in all these systems. And it's going to make crashing out a real thing. You're going to watch people flip-flop. One week they're a fucking Wiccan, the next week they're a goddamn Christian, the next week they're a Muslim, the next week they're atheist, the next week they're Catholic, the next week they're fucking full-on occultist. They're going to be everywhere. It does it all the time. Oh, wow. Kimmy or Kimchi? Sweetness. For real? I mean, I've been around since 2014. But no, there's a lot of people who do readings. Can I say happy birthday to Gabe Owens, Gabe Owners? I don't know who that is, but happy birthday, Gabe. But to be honest with you, I don't remember people's names nowadays. I used to remember everybody I meet, but I don't. So happy birthday. You know what? You make me sick. I just caught that. I just caught that. I'm gonna give you that one. I just caught that one. You got him. You got him. You got me. What was that one I heard earlier? Oh man, I don't know. I was watching something on Grey's Anatomy. I'm doing the card of the day for somebody to ask me. You got me though. Yeah, that's about the only way to work that one. That's about the only way to work that. Gay boners. Wow. It got me. It got me. It was that damn joke that they did on Grey's Anatomy. Paging somebody. Yeah, paging Jenny Talia. Paging Jenny Talia. Hey, it's all love. You have to laugh. You have to laugh. So I appreciate that. Feel free to stop through anytime. So again, I'm doing the card of the day for tomorrow. Here I am being all nice and gentle, about to give somebody a shout out. Hey, gay boners. So again, I normally do a write up like I did tonight, and I put it on. Thank you. I put it on Facebook and on Instagram. So what I'm gonna do is read from off of my backup phone. It probably won't show you, and I'll throw a card for it. So Heels Numerology. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Heels Numerology for tomorrow, which is 10/8/2025. I have my own number system. I do my things my way. You have to learn to start doing things your way. You can only use somebody else's system for so long before you start becoming somebody else's system. Sorry, resonance only. You can't, I'm not going to do that. 10/8/2025. Choose the thoughts that struggle for control. That is what I call parasitic existence. When you're only, again, in my system, 10 is choice. 8 is struggling with the thoughts in my head. 2025, which is a 9 vibration, basically says you're going to be judged by what's guiding you. 2025 was all about being judged by what's guiding you. Holy shit, look around us, especially if you're in this corporation that used to be a country. We're being judged by what we're letting guide us. We are the laughing stock of the world. I don't give a fuck about your affiliations. It just is what it is. We're the laughing stock of the world because we're letting idiocracy be the way. So this whole year was all about just how far are you going to go being guided by that which only seeks to destroy you. But this is deeper than just your governmental program. Those are just reflections. This is on your internal functions. If you keep choosing to struggle with systems that only mean for you to struggle, you only sponsor your struggle. That's where parasitic existence come in. For years, I've been posting videos. I've been doing documentary write-ups where there are so many organisms. This ain't just flatworms and hookworms and roundworms. Those are part of it. But there are so many parasites in nature right now that have the capacity to tell the host how to think. We have them in us. But this is deeper than manifested worms. I'm talking about the thoughts. The thoughts in your head can teach you how to think more for it than you will think for yourself. And science has been proving that shit. I used to post this shit about this rat experiment or this mice experiment where they would subject the mouse to strawberry cheesecake. And then every time they show that mouse strawberry cheesecake, they shock him. So every time that mouse saw strawberry cheesecake, he would already react as if he was being shocked. That passed over to that original mouse's grandson. Generations later, whenever they put that cheesecake in front of that mouse, he still will react the same way his grandfather did. Why? Because it became an ingrained thought form. It's a trauma. We pretty much operate the same way, whether you own it or not. Whatever we keep thinking traumatizes us into performing more for it than you are for yourself. And the trick with that is if you're only finding definition in what you're going through without figuring out why, you're not who you are, you're what you're going through. You're only toxic motion and trauma bonded. And these words might hurt you, but you gotta let your life tell your tale. One thing I will always tell you is only thing I can speak from is perspective and experience and awareness. And I don't sugarcoat shit. I'm not gonna sit here and hold your hand and give you safe delivery so that you feel better about staying stuck in the same cycles while still complaining about being in a cycle. I'll only tell it to you the way I know how. It is up to you to resonate and it is up to you to ignore. But here's the catch. You gotta let your life tell your tale. You'll never hear me not say that. You gotta let your life tell your tale. So tomorrow, when you're choosing between the thoughts that only want you to struggle, you're already lost. So the way this works is I'll read what I wrote down for the operating line, and then I'll shuffle and throw a card. So tomorrow, 10/8/2025, the primary energy is choosing between struggling thoughts that only want me to struggle for control. And before I throw this card, I keep saying control is a dirty word. You should not have control, you should have awareness. Control means I have to exert energy. Control means there's already something else that can take me off balance. Control means there's already something else that I have to dominate lest I be dominated myself. Struggle energies. I don't need to control you, I just need to be aware of me. If you're in a relationship where you have to establish control, careful. I just need to be aware of me and make sure that my partner is aware of herself, and then we can flow. But if I got to control her, then I'm already taking from me, plus I'm diminishing her. But that ain't what you got taught. So this probably sound like pea soup. So again, keep choosing from them thoughts that keep telling you to struggle for control. Holy shit, jackass. The Jack of Spades. Spades are your thoughts. In cartomancy, spades are air. Spades are your thoughts. So the Jack is a messenger. The Jack is the basically equivalent of 11. So here I'm only choosing from the thoughts that keep me in separation. The other number for 11 or other word for 11 is justification. I'm only justifying the thoughts that justify me. You see the duplicity in that? I keep choosing thoughts to justify so that they justify me. Well, then who are you? What I keep thinking. See everything I just got through saying. So this is the jackass mentality. You are only listening to what already have you in separation. Why? Because they're just thoughts. And they only want your energy so that they can establish control by directing you how to move. I wouldn't do it before dinner, and I probably wouldn't do it before bed if you're squeamish. But just Google parasites in nature. Mind control parasites. You'll see so many different things. You'll see this wasp that goes into this nest, and it infects a couple of ants, and then the ants start thinking that the wasp is one of them, and so the other ants start killing each other, and the wasp just sit there and wait. You'll see this parasite that gets inside of a rat, and then the rat gets fearless and goes attack a cat. The cat kills the rat. The cat eats the rat, shits out the dissected rat, and then the feces get eaten by a rat, and the cycles continue. The only thing guaranteed existence in all of these cases is the parasite itself. You don't care what the host is going through. Something you hear me say all the time. Energy don't care what you're going through. That's just you. That's you and what your ego attached to. Energy does not care whether you win or lose. Energy just wants usage. Energy in this format of what I'm talking about is your thoughts. The thoughts don't care where you go. They just want you to move. And that'll come up in this reading. 88-2. 88 in my number system, master number 88 is what I call the gatekeepers. It's traumatic memory points. If 8 is your struggles, 88 is you're already in the mirror of what you see. Two numbers together, master numbers, means you're already caught in their reflection. I see struggle here and I see struggle there. Remember what I told you about for the first line? This Jack is also an 11. I keep justifying what I'm seeing. So the second line, I'm seeing struggle everywhere. And then two, connection. I see struggle everywhere and I keep connecting to it. And this is where people get lost. This is your spiritual journey. I'm connecting to my struggles so that I can overcome them by giving them my light so I can conquer my shadows. Or learning to stop giving them my light and hoping that they go away. But how are they going to go away? I'm going to create new experiences to counter them. Again, see the aforementioned story about the parasite. Whether you fight the parasite, whether you run from the parasite, or whether you become the parasite, the only thing guaranteed was the parasite. The thought. So 88.2, the gatekeepers are the plug, keeping you high as fuck. You understand that? You can't run out on the plug. You can't run out on the plug twice in this case. Because whenever you try and cancel a thought, what do you use to cancel a thought? Another thought. I'll answer for you. So the thoughts have guaranteed their existence in this realm, which you hear me call thoughts in manifestation. Because the only thing you're doing is thinking about what you want and what you don't want and how to achieve it. So 88.2, where you hear me say the gatekeepers, these are traumatic memory points that campaign. These are your inner voices. They're campaigning for control. This is, it's not the same, but it's kind of akin to that proverbial angel and devil on your shoulder where you're sitting there trying to figure out what you're going to do. And then one part of you is like, no, you shouldn't do that. And the other part is like, yeah, go ahead. Those are your gatekeepers. They're trying to direct you into experiences that validate them. They're trying to be the voice, the messenger in your head to justify their safety. At this point, you're in danger. When your 88s have control, it ain't about you. It's about your traumas. Remember, I'm telling you, them 88s are trauma points. And that's how a lot of y'all exist. You won't go get on that airplane because there's a fear. That's a trauma point. You won't stop being promiscuous because there's a fear. That's a trauma point. You won't start having sex, abstinence. And I mean high grade, I can't be touched. Not I've made a conscious decision to be touched, but no, I'm hurt and I can't be touched. Trauma points. I can't trust nobody. Trauma point. I can't stop trusting people. Trauma point. I can't stop drinking. Trauma point. 88 energies. And if you're more connected to these traumatic points, it's no longer about you. It's about keeping those traumas safe. So line 2, 88.2, them gatekeepers, those are the plug. Here's how they gonna plug you in. Woo! Holy sheep shit. This is the Joker, and this is the big Joker. This ain't just the fool. This is the grand fool. This is you are the biggest source of energy, and you're easily fooled because all I got to do is give you a thought that you're no longer safe, and you'll acquiesce to whatever plan gives you safety. Used this example last night, and I've been using it for a long time. If you are in a room full of melanated people and one person come running in and run through, we're not asking questions. We're going to respond and follow until we can figure out what the danger was once we get to where we find safety. I'm not telling you not to do that because I'll probably do it too, but think about it in a larger sense. If you don't know what you're running from and don't know what you're running to, you can be easily fooled. If you don't know why you're running and you don't know where you're going, you're waiting to be led. Remember what I told you about the original line is you're just going to be guided by what may be tricking you, what may be tricking you. You've been presented with a danger that you can't verify, but you don't have enough safety within yourself to be still. So you're the big Joker. You're the strongest card. You understand that? Woo. As a community, you could be the strongest, but you come off as the weakest. You got the most power. You got the most potential, but you don't know how to use it because you have the most fear. So you misuse it. And then the things that understand how to use you will keep you using your energy against yourself. So the joke's on you. The joke's on you. You have all this power, but you can't use it to set yourself free. That goes beyond meat suits. That goes as a collective. You have all this power, but you rather vote to get free. So that's line 2. My phone done went out on me. Let me turn it back on. So line 3 is 10-10-7. 1010 is what you hear me call source code. If 88 is your gatekeepers, 1010 is your programming point. It's what you hear me call core traumatic memory points. If you think about a computer programming, if you understand like them hex codes and all that other shit, it's 0 1 0 1 0 0 1 0 1 0 1 0 1 1 1 0 0 0 1 0 format like that. That's the whole basis of the internet. If you knew anything about programming, MILNet, ARPANET, that became internet and the World Wide Web, is built on a code based off of ones and zeros. 1010 is source code programming. All I have to do, remember the rat I was telling you about that got shocked by the strawberry cheesecake? All you have to do is plant a memory of fear, and then anytime that you can use that imprint of fear, the subject will control itself. So 10-10-7 says the core traumatic memories tell you who you think you are. If my core traumas, my 10-10s are so dramatic and traumatic, then they're going to make me identify with whatever I think is safe. And for some people, this is what you hear me call a spiritual witness protection program. It's not safe to be you. And y'all say that shit all the time. I don't know how to submit because I'm not safe enough to be that person. Or see, you gonna make that crazy side come out. You hold space for all these different identities within yourself, your core trauma points, and then you try and use them for your advantage by making them safer versions of you in danger. And then you'll justify that shit. You'll justify holding on to all these different versions of you. I'm in my dark Lilith. I'm in my dark goddess. I'm in my dark God. I'm in my mega God. You in all these different versions, but you ain't whole. Your core traumas have already won. Your 7, your self-awareness, your point of identity, your spiritual journey itself, which the spiritual journey is supposed to be identifying you. That's the spiritual journey. Is I'm supposed to know who I am. But if I don't know who I am because I got all these core trauma points inside of me that are telling me who I could potentially be, then whichever one is potentially telling me the best story is the one I give my time. So you will invest your big joker energy, the strongest card in the deck. The strongest card in the deck will submit to whatever is weaker than it if it thinks whatever is weaker than it is actually stronger. You'll vote for it. That's how the few can be in control of the many. All you have to do is outthink the many. So in this case, 10-10 outthinks the many by making the many think that they're less than what they are. Your core trauma of not being enough that you can easily identify with. I'm not enough. I don't have enough, aka scarcity consciousness. When you work more for your scarcity consciousness, it is already ahead of you. That's where you are in this manifestation point. I'm ching, ching, ching the money tree, chasing the bag, trying to align so I can manifest, trying to get to the abundance. But the abundance was already within you. But you haven't been authorized to look within. You've just been told to go on a journey that makes that safe. Your core trauma is, I don't know who I am, so I need to be guided into what I can be. Spiritual Witness Protection Program. 9 of Diamonds. You have been hardened by what's been placed in control. 9 is the highest vibrations. 9 is also control. Diamonds is earth. It is what I'm grounded into. I have been grounded into being controlled by what I think will give me my highest vibrations. Basically everything I just said. Whichever thought I think is going to show me the best way to vibrate high, I'll invest in it, not knowing that it's going to take my energy to get there. So did you gain vibrations or did you lose it? Don't lie to me. Don't lie to me. Lie to yourself. In going on a journey, did you gain vibrations or did you lose it? It's a perspective. Resonance and ignorance only. I'm not here to challenge you. You good. So going on to line 3, you good. 99, the end game. 99, and again, the analogy I've always used with end game is you're playing a good old Street Fighter game and you get to level 99 and now you got to fight yourself. You got to fight the shadow version of yourself. Why am I fighting the shadow version of myself? Because I got to conquer the dark in order to see my light, is what you foolishly gonna think. Why? Because that shit sound good, right? I got to conquer the dark so that I can see the light. How did either one of them get there? Uh-oh, time to do some thinking. The end game should be stop playing games, because it's a game of you losing yourself in order to find yourself by going through what you could become just to figure out what you are. You take your time with that one on your own. So if you don't understand that in 99 the end game, all you're doing is prepping for a trip, your spiritual journey, into the shadows to perform the Anubis function. And if you're not familiar with the Anubis function by like comedics and Egyptology, one and the same on some levels, is all you do is you get there, and it's kind of like the Mayat theory. You get there and you weigh your heart that has went through experiences. And in this symbology, your heart is your attachments. The things that you attach to, those are your experiences. You weigh your heart full of your experiences versus a feather. The feather is supposed to denote you being light. So how much did I attach to that took away my light? Am I heavier than my light by going through my shadows? Or have I went through so many shadows and let them motherfuckers go that I'm still light? Still a danger. It's still a danger, because you shouldn't even worry about being a light. You should worry about just being you. The light is still you with the potential to separate yourself. You understand that? There's a light source ahead of me, above me. It's actually in expenditure because I've turned it on. If I turn it off, the light is still there. It's just not using its energy. See, some of you are going to trick yourself and say, no, it's in its dark. No, it's not in use. The dark didn't have any quantitative value until I flipped the switch. So you have to understand that in the Anubis function, you still lying to yourself, because you're more worried about the experiences you went through trying to get your light back, but you didn't remember you were the source of the light and the dark. So the 99 end game could still leave you playing chess with yourself. Holy sheep shit. It's the other Joker. But look, this is the dead Joker. This is the other Joker, and it's in reverse. You've been fooled. You've been fooled, because once you get to that Anubis function and you realize you didn't have enough experiences to be light as the feather, you're going to fall for that trick of going back and, holy shit, reincarnation. You're going back and do it again. Try again, my child. What was her name? Dead wife from American Gods. She got there to the Anubis function and she's like, psh, I don't need to be weighed. And she tried to escape. Kicked her ass into the corridor anyway. Put her right back in a meat suit. That's how some of y'all are. I'm tired of Earth and I ain't coming back here. You ain't gonna never leave. Why? Because you keep finding value for your experiences. You keep attaching to the thoughts that mean to take your light, because you're too busy thinking the shadows is the enemy. It's all you. The light, the shadows didn't take your light. Your light created the shadows. Your light, source and separation, is the whole problem. You should have kept still and see why you had to move. Not just move. Remember that room full of people where somebody ran through? Instead of stopping and assessing the situation to figure out whether there was really a danger, I don't have that capacity of thinking on that level, so I'm going to flee to find safety and then do a past life review. You do the Anubis function every day. Root chakra activity. We exist from root chakra. We're already one step from fight or flight. We're already in danger. Why? Because the thought does not want you to feel safe. The thought wants you to stay in agitation so it can easily move you where it needs to go. Again, see those rats, see that cat, see those ants, see that wasp, see that praying mantis, all these shit. Pour some water on the praying mantis and the parasite comes out. It's going over your head, so I'll stop. Next line, 18. 18, the full moon. The whole problem is one of them eight's lying. Remember I told you 88 was your gatekeepers, where you see struggle all around you? In 18, La Luna, the moon, the problem is one of those eights is all you need to face. Wholeness, what's going on, family? So 1-8 basically says all the potential is in that thought that keeps showing me struggle. All of my energy has been invested. And once I give my energy into that thought can show me everything that it wants me to see because that's how you make creation. That plays out on all levels. If somebody can place a suggestion in your head, this goes beyond the patents for subliminal TV since the 60s. This goes beyond mismedia and mass media misinformation. This goes beyond your fucking Manchurian candidates and shit like that. This goes beyond being able to trigger somebody through hypnosis and shit like that. This is just standard understanding that if somebody has no awareness of themselves, you can teach them anything. If you don't know who you are, somebody can put a book in your hand to make you feel better about reading, even if it's a book designed for your destruction. It'll be the only one you know how to use. Yet it's designed to keep using you. You just don't have that awareness. Why? Because all your potential is when in the struggle. But when you got something that's been placed in front of you that you think is helping you, you don't understand what struggle is. It's how you keep a crack addict on crack. So 1-8, which again, 18 is La Luna, the full moon. The full moon was the night of the 6th, running into the morning of the 7th. We're really still in the throes of it because it was a super moon. You're still under lunar influence. You're still easily moved. Your waters are still easily moved. So with 18, the full moon is still on that ass. Emotionally invested, but nothing to show for it in return. Remember getting to the Anubis function? You done went through all these experiences. You're supposed to learn how to let them go. How do you heal from your traumas? Let the motherfuckers go. Ta-da, game over. But I can't do that because... And again, I don't give a fuck if you get mad at me, but I'm going to be real. Big Mama been gone for 65 years and it's hard tomorrow, y'all. You stay stuck in trauma cycles. You find more reasons on why you're going to mourn than why you find peace, let alone joy. Why? Because it's your programming. Too busy justifying the emotions that does not show you proper movement that you fight when you get told to keep still. You're a fidgety ass child sitting in church. Big Mama about to pop you. So that emotional investment to keep on moving while being told to let go of what you're seeing is just so you can make sure at the end there was nothing there. So if you don't understand that you're supposed to go through stuff just to learn to let it go in the end, why should you hold on to it? It's a choice. Don't get me wrong. Maybe you should value the experiences you're going through and understand that that's enough. I don't need to hold on to them. I don't need to keep creating barriers and spaces and traumatic memory points in my energy signature to go back to verify what I went through. I should just understand I've been there. But again, you haven't been taught to think like that, so that sounded like pea soup. Why? Because you're already emotion. You've already been energetically moved. Energetically moved by what? Parasites. What's parasites? Your thoughts. Whatever taught you how to think is your master. Whoever taught you how to think is your master. Whoever taught you how to think controls your waters. Whoever controls your waters can direct your flow. 9 of spades. Whoever controls your thoughts. 9, control, spades, thoughts. Not even going to go any further on that. Ta-da. So the last line is the 9. 9, control. Control in the sense of where you have something in subduction, or control as in I'm conducting an experiment and that's my test subject. That's my control. I'm watching what's going on, but I'm using that one as a measurement tool. Control. Getting to your highest vibration requires you to move. Being your whole self doesn't require any movement nor any vibrations at all. Just be present. You understand that? I can be in a room and watching something going on and not moving. I'm acting out the perception of wholeness. I'm not controlling nobody and nobody's controlling me. I'm just present. It don't require me to plug in and dance around and be all jittery or watching everybody see who I got to fight. No, I'm just there. I'm present. When you're out here trying to maintain control over the situation, you already put yourself in that state of danger. You're trying to watch and see what is going to be the potential harm, how you're going to find the exit, who you got to beat down, who's trying to beat you down, somebody throwing at me. Now I need a protection spell and 67 necklaces and some copper bracelets with 95 crystals all around my head because you're already in danger. Your thoughts only want you agitated so that you perceive to be a threat when the only threat is within here. You've lost control in here because you never had any awareness that control was the issue. So you want to fight. You want to have a war. Same shit I keep telling y'all every day. You want to have a spiritual war, but the spiritual war is with your choices. What do you mean my choices? I keep choosing to think that something is controlling me or thinking that I have to control something else, and so I keep creating it. I don't want to see that I should sit down and see shit for what it is and then choose what deserves my energy. I give everything my energy and then fight to make sure what doesn't deserve it understands that it's not there. Did you see that? I give everybody a chance, and then I don't judge people. See, I go ahead and waste my energy with everybody, and then I figure out who I need to pull back from. You tired. I sit back and I judge you and I make sure that you're worth my time or my energy. Or hell, in some cases, I make sure I'm worth your time and your energy. Let's be real. But I make sure that there is a proper use for the energetic experience of you before I lose the experience of me. So you fucking right, I'm gonna judge you. I judge whether you worth my time. Because if you out there acting the ass, you ain't worth my time. Why would I engage into any fucking experience? That's not what you supposed to do. Says who? The parasites. Them thoughts that already told you how to think because they already got your ass under control and they have taken all of your energy and fooled you into killing yourself because you're plugged in to what's got you grounded and under control. That's a dangerous spot. When you are plugged in and grounded, you can't get free and you ain't got no power. You understand that? You take an old device that's got a crimp in it and you plug it into the wall and you short out the fuse, but now you can't take it out the wall because it done burnt into the wall. You done fucked up a lot of shit. The device is no longer operable, the plug is no longer free, and the outlet doesn't get its energy back. That's a whole lot of loss. Why is it a whole lot of loss? Because you've been fooled into giving up everything that makes you a jackass. The messenger of separation. The thought of separation has taken all of your energy and grounded out all your power and made you create your own death by controlling your thoughts. Ta-da, forwards and backwards. Here's the last card. The 9, control. Getting to your highest vibration. I'll read it again. Getting to your highest vibration requires you to move. Getting to my highest vibration means that I had to get there. Why? Because you start at 0. But yet in this realm, we say 9 is the highest vibration. But 9 ether being. See the way my hair lock? 9 ether being. I'm my highest vibration, but I can't control nothing. Why? Because you've been fooled into moving. You've been fooled into moving, and your ego won't allow you to keep still because you can't think for yourself. You keep thinking for what already got your ass on the go. If you understood wholeness and stop plugging your ass into this shit, you'll see why you even invested all together. But again, that scares you when you have to realize the only person under that mask, old man Dithers, when you realize that the person under the mask that Scooby-Doo keep catching is you. So here's your 9. You're getting stroked out well. It's that connection that you love. 2, connection, hearts, love, hearts, water. I'm connected to what's got me in flow. Go back to where I said what's got you in flow. What's got you in flow? Them thoughts that are parasitically making you move. So if the parasite can tell you how to move, the parasite can tell you how to think, the parasite can make you keep on going into alchemy, death, by grounding you out to where you won't get control, but you're going to keep on giving up your power as long as you get a message telling you to keep on going. Please take your time with that one. So tomorrow will show you where shit you plugged into, if the only thing is doing is draining you, but still leaving you connected to what's draining you, you stuck in who you think you are. Diamonds, grounded. You're stuck in who you think you are, and you're stuck in a spiritual journey going nowhere. What do we call that, dear children? The Ouroboros loop. Samsara's wheel. You're only chasing your own tail and eating your own shit and wondering why you're not getting any sustenance. You wonder why you can't get ahead because you're only chasing your own behind. But why? Because the thoughts won't set me free. But holy shit, where'd the thought come from? It's supposed to come from a thinker. But if you haven't been taught how to think, and then you're going to keep using what taught you how to think as a way to learn how to think, I'm going to learn to unlearn so I can learn what else I need to learn. Knowledge, brother. Knowledge gets you fucked up. Wake the fuck up and be still. Wake the fuck up and be still and see why you keep going to sleep, but thinking you're moving, sleepwalking. Zombies. Wholeness.